All right, you guys know what time it is. It is early January, well, mid-January, I guess. And so obviously that means probably for the 10th time showing up on your feed today, another What's in My Camera Bag 2021. Now, while it seems like everybody and many of their grandmothers as well are making What's in My Camera Bag videos, honestly for me, I really enjoy them. I don't know why, I just enjoy seeing what people pack around in their backpack. And if you watched my video from 2020, some things have changed. The main components of it probably haven't, but I think it'll still be interesting for you to watch, even if you did watch that last one. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So as with any What's in My Camera Bag videos, we of course gotta start with the camera. And for me, I am still rocking the Sony a7 III. I used that camera all of 2019, all of 2020, and so now I am going on my 3rd year of using this camera. But the reason that I shoot with this camera, the reason why I still have this camera, the reason why I haven't necessarily upgraded yet to something else is because honestly, I just know this camera so well. I know all of its menu features, at least all the features that I use. I just know it. I know what overexposed looks like. I know what underexposed looks like. I know when I'm shooting it, if it's gonna turn out good. I just know all of the freaking little nooks and crannies to this camera. And because of that, I'm able to still, in my opinion at least, get really, really good results from it for both video and photo. And I'm just gonna throw this out there. Does anybody else remember the fact that when it came out in 2018, people were actually talking about, is this the greatest consumer level mirrorless camera that's ever been released? Because of all the features, because of the specs, because of the image quality, people were actually saying that. And while many things have changed in 2.5, 3 years, a lot still remains the same, which is why I still have the a7 III. All right, let's talk about the lenses that I carry in the bag. So I'm just gonna start with my favorite lens. It's not the one that I use the most often. In fact, I rarely use it. But this lens, she's a beaut. I call this lens the dad lens. Every once in a while, I'll refer to it as Big Daddy. This is the Shaquille O'Neal of lenses. The f350 of lenses. It's big, it's real big. And that is of course none other than the Sigma 135 f1.8. This is my favorite lens I've ever had. I don't use it all the time just because it's not practical. Like, am I putting this on a gimbal? No. But am I getting some of the best shots ever with this? Yes, absolutely. I freaking love the shallow depth of field that it produces. I love the compressed background. This lens is awesome, and I use it for weddings, for portraits every once in a while, and I'm starting to use it now when we travel and explore and go places, because just the unique shots that you're able to get with it is it's pretty awesome. All right, and moving on to the other lenses that I have. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time going into these, but I think it is worth noting just the other lenses that we have, and that is the 24mm f1.4 from Sigma. I love this lens. I've talked about this in the past, and I will make another video kind of talking about all of the Sigma lenses that we have and why we choose to go with that brand. But yeah, this is just a fantastic wide angle lens. It has a really crazy unique look to it because of the wide aperture that it can get to. All around, I just love having it. The next one is the lens that I actually use the most often, which is what I'm shooting on right now, and that is the Sigma 35 f1.4. It's not the new 1.2, and obviously it's not the new G Master that everyone literally just posted a video about like a week ago. But man, I love this lens. It's on my camera probably 95% of the time. I love that length. I love the focal length of 35 for portraits, for some landscapes, just basically for everything. It goes well on my gimbal, and love that lens. And then the last lens that I carry is actually the only non-Sigma lens that we have, and that is just the standard Sony 85 1.8. It's a really good lens. It's affordable for the most part compared to like the G Master lineup, and then compared to like the Sigma lenses as well. It's a really just good, reliable lens. My wife Haley uses it most often for portraits and weddings, and I like to use this lens for kind of like sit down interviews as like a second camera angle to get that really nice compressed background. All right, but moving on from the actual camera and lenses, let's talk about something that goes on the lens, and that is the Tiffin Pro Mist filter. I've been using this filter basically every day for probably the last 3 or 4 months now, and man, it's awesome. I mean, just kind of look at this light. This is why I put this light here, because it just has like such a nice glow and bloom to it, and that's what this filter does. I have the quarter, the 1/4 strength, I guess, and yeah, this freaking thing is awesome. I mean, like Pro Mist, more like Pro Moist. All right, let's move on to audio, and I am still using the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus as a shotgun mic, but I don't use that nearly as much as I used to. And what I'm actually gonna bring up, which is a new addition this year, is what you're listening to right now, and that is the Tascam DR10L lavalier microphone. And what I love about this mic is that A, it's a lavalier, but B, it is its own recorder. So let me show you. I've obviously got the lav hooked up to my collar right here, and then the cable is fed through my shirt and comes to the pack right here. And what's really cool about this is that you don't have to worry about any sort of transmission signal being sent. So there is no transmitter or receiver. Everything is recorded into the pack itself. Now, that might be kind of sketchy for you, thinking like, okay, how am I gonna monitor the audio? Let me put it to you this way. I trust this mic more than any mic I've ever used. And at my work, we use really, really high-end professional Sennheiser transmitter receiver packs, which those are great. But like, if you were to tell me that I can only choose one mic for whatever reason, can't use a backup, can't do anything else, I've only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. And you're like, hey, you know, this opportunity is once in a lifetime chance. What microphone are you gonna use? I would tell you 1000%. I would use the Tascam DR10L, and that's how much I trust it. All right, so the drone that I use, that I carry around with me, it is not the new Mavic Air 2, but it is the old Mavic Air 1, the OG. This drone is awesome. It doesn't have nearly the amount of features and like cool stuff that all the new drones have, but it's cheap. It has a freaking awesome image that comes out of it, and kind of similar to my camera, the A7 III, I just know this thing inside and out. I can always tell when I'm gonna get a good shot versus when I'm gonna get a bad shot, and that's hard to put a value on because it's so important to just know your equipment inside and out. A gimbal is the next thing that I'll talk about, and yeah, I use the Zhiyun Weebill S gimbal. I made an entire video on it, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and click this little card right here. But yeah, it's an awesome gimbal, does everything that I needed to do. It's probably actually my favorite gimbal that I've ever had, and I've been using it now for like the last 5 or 6 months, and it's awesome. Like I said, I made an entire video on it, so I don't want to keep talking about it, but if you want to learn more about it, go ahead and watch that video I made. All right, and then the last thing that's actually inside of my bag is the Low Pro little pouch. I'm gonna assume that's not the official name, is little pouch, but that's what I call it, it's the little pouch. It holds everything, all my batteries, cables, you know, chargers, SD cards, basically anything that is too small or just like awkwardly shaped to fit inside of one of the sleeves of my backpack goes in the little pouch. And speaking of backpack, this is another thing that has stayed the same. I am still using the Low Pro 450L, I think is what it's called. Yeah, it's a great backpack. I don't use it all the time. Like if I'm traveling, I don't always use it because I like a smaller backpack, but if I'm trying to fit the most amount of gear possible, I'm using this thing all day long. But yeah, that is what is in my camera bag. Hopefully this video found you well. Hopefully you didn't get bored at some point. Hopefully I wasn't too annoying. Probably not betting on that, but yeah, that's all that I have. I mean, that's not all the gear that I have, but that is what goes into my camera bag. That's, you know, what I bring with me 99% of the time. So anyways, hope you enjoyed. If you found this video good, fun, entertaining, whatever, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It honestly, it really helps the video get more views and overall the channel to grow as well. So anyways, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.